Now this is going to be a really easy tutorial. We're going to apply a textured effect to this image, and we'll do it using a couple of filters. So go to our background layer, duplicate, call this base, and then we come to filters, come down to apply image, load image. Right, now on my folder I've got a 3D folder with a textures subfolder and then a paper subfolder here. This is what we're interested in. Let's take a look at some of these things. Let's try, say, what, sandpaper? Yeah, give that a try. Now the good thing about this is it scales my image automatically horizontally and vertically if I want it. If I uncheck those, you can see it's a lot smaller. Recheck things and it gets a lot bigger. It's soft and blotched, which is what I want. So let's try a different color mode for this. Let's see what we've got. Well, overlay is quite nice, a little bit strong. Let's try soft light is quite nice. Let's try that. It's also taking some of the color of that sandpaper, which I don't mind because I'd like a slightly retro look to this image. And opacity, I can adjust the opacity if I want. About there, 80%. And don't forget I can check before and after by using my little preview things, or I can check before and after like this. All right, I'll go with that. And then we're going to come back up and we are going to use the same filter, apply image. All right, this time I want something with a slightly more paper texture in there. So let's try Conti Paper 01. Let's try that. All right, let's see what we can do here. Now, you can use any one of the color modes. Some will be more suitable for any one particular thing than another. Like this one, multiply. That's not too bad. Color burn gives a more consistent color look to it. Color dodge and add gives a rather light feel to this. Let's try color burn, but I'm going to drop the opacity quite a bit to get a very subtle effect to this. All right, I'll go with about that and apply. Now you'll notice these changes get applied permanently to this layer, and that's not a problem. I can always just undo or come to my history and come back like this. And look, let's go for gold. Let's try applying the filter again. Apply image, load image, and this time, what's this one? Conti Paper and Metal. That looks interesting. It's kind of textured. Now it's a white effect with darker areas there. That might suit one of the darken modes. Let's try multiply. Color burn is giving me a more consistent effect there. Let's just take a look at some of the others while I'm here. Overlay's not bad. Soft light. Soft light is quite nice. That's giving me kind of a nice retro feel to it. And the opacity, try taking it down a little bit, make it, you know what? I'm going to keep it pretty high. I like that textured effect. It kind of gives a slightly oldie photo effect to it. And I'll click and apply with that. All right, so where am I getting all these wonderful paper textures from? It really is very easy. If I come to my web browser and I Googled free paper textures for commercial use, and it threw up these various different things. Now, supposing I come to say this one, and there you go, you can download things from there, for example, the webdesigncore.com. 51 high quality free texture packs to download, ucreative.com. See, like that would be a very nice image to apply. It's up to you. Do your own searching, come up with your own images and combine them to make your own unique look. All right, now with this, maybe I want to keep a little bit of definition just in some areas, maybe around the eyes and the lips. So I'm going to duplicate my layer again, and I'll call this lines. I will drag this to the top, and I'm going to run layer, new live filter layer, high pass filter. Let's put up the radius. I want this to be monochrome as well. I just want some fairly fine defining lines like that. Then I'm going to take the entire layer and turn it into what? Soft light, hard light, vivid light, pin light, linear light is giving me some nice crisp lines. Now I like them around the eye area. Let's take a look at before and after. Yeah, I like it around the eye area, also around the hair area as well, but some of the wrinkles around the sleeve and also maybe some of these textures a bit close to the child's face, they could do with toning down a little bit. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it inside a group, rename it and call this lines again, and I'm going to add a layer mask. Now at the moment everything's showing through. I want most of the stuff to show through, but I just want to knock out certain areas. So making sure my layer mask is selected, come to my paintbrush, it's on black, that's good. Black knocks things out, and I'm just going to give a fairly large, fairly soft edge brush, and I'm just going to brush out certain areas around the sleeve, and maybe just a few areas around here, because I don't want these too hard textures too close to the face. Maybe just a little bit down here. That aside, we're pretty much there. We can play around with the opacity of that in case we're finding, whoops, click on the actual layer itself rather than the layer mask. All I was doing there was making the layer mask more or less visible. And come to the opacity here, fade it in out to where I want it to be. Maybe about there. I got 65%. Remember, you will have a different image, you will have applied different paper textures, so your value will most likely be a bit different to that. And then if I want to, I can come to my adjustments, come to HSL adjust, and I can change the overall colour of it to whatever I want. If I want, I can change the saturation down. I tend to avoid luminosity. It's too crude a tool for making dark and light, I find. There's other ways of doing it, and I'll do that as well. Let's try, for the sake of argument, something like that. It's got a slight nice rosy tint to it now. And if I wanted to adjust the dark and light, I'd either use levels or curves. So levels, about there. I don't want to make it too bright, and that makes it a little bit more intense. That makes it a little bit more washed out, and I can fine tune the darker levels around here. But I've already got these dark areas around the top, so I don't want to make it too dark. Let's try about there. And there it is. Alright, so I'm going to come back to my layers palette, come down to my base file, and I'm going to come to my develop persona, because what I want to do now, I'm going to come to my lens, and I'm going to come to my post-crop vignette. Let's make a vignette, because this looks to me ever so slightly Victorian. I want to try and increase the slightly old-fashioned feel to it, so I'm going to come to about there. Let's take the intensity down a little bit and make it a little bit softer. Well, that's harder. Let's make it softer. Knock it back a little bit, just so I've got these slightly darker areas in the corners, which helps to give the overall feeling of intimacy. That's what I wanted to do here, and come to develop, and there's my final picture. Really easy to do, it's self-working, you don't have to do anything creative yourself, and you end up with, hopefully, a nice effect. And because you can download your own paper textures from loads of places on the internet, you're going to end up with your own unique pictures.